just open your notes and you should see that this section, what is IoT. Let's understand what is IoT. So IoT, the full form of IoT is Internet of Things. That means it is a completely connected network of different things, right? So as the things, we can assume any physical things that is around us, right? So it could be anything. Okay, what are the things around you? Can you give me some names, Praveen? आज क्या आपके अराउंड क्या क्या चीज़ हैं? Just give me a name so that I will give you an example then. आपके आसपास, maybe you are sitting on a
I
chair.
have I have an AC, a projector and TV.
Okay, you have TV, projector, right? You maybe sit on the chair. You have table, you have door, you have walls, right? And maybe cupboards, shoes, and everything, right? So we have hundreds of things around us, right? So, but it is not connected with each other, right? So when we are able to connect these physical things to each other, maybe connected with our also mobile, laptop, PC, our smartwatch, or maybe those things could be connected with each other also, right? So when we give power to the things, the power of connectivity, or the power of wireless communication. And wireless communication could be in different form. It could be through Bluetooth, it could be through Wi-Fi, it could be through RF, right? So when the things have that much of capabilities, right, to sharing the data with each other or with the different kinds of applications, right, then it will become a network, right? And then that network is called Internet of Things. That means things are connected through the internet. That means a network of things, right? So it means physical device like sensor, machine controller, and smart system can collect data and share it with each other device and softwares, right? Share the data with each other and along with other applications and other devices, applications and softwares, right? So in industrial IoT, devices do not work alone. They must communicate with each other to send the data, receive command, and work as one complete system, right? If things are individual working, we do not call it as a IoT, right? Let's say in case of embedded system. Embedded system is a system that is dedicated for a single task. Let's say rotating one motor. That is a part of embedded system, right? But right now that is not a complete system of IoT, right? Let's say we have embedded one sensor with the motor. Let's say the sensor could be Hall effect sensor, right? Now we are sharing the speed of the motor over some kind of application, over the software, or over any kind of wireless LCD. So that is a complete system that the motor is rotating, the controller is sharing the data with the other applications, right? An application also fetching and transmitting the responses, right? So this is we call as a complete IoT system, right? So for to call it IoT, the system should be connected with other devices or other applications, right, in a network. Simple, we can take one example that there is a temperature sensor, right? Let's say take one example of a smart home. So in the smart home, how AC and fan work, like first of all, there should be a temperature sensor in your home or office, right? It will tell the what is the current temperature of room. Then it will automatically turn on and turn off the electrical appliances, right? Fan, cooler, and your AC also, right? But to transmit the data from one device to another device, it require one medium, right? And those medium could be different kinds of communication protocol. In wireless communication protocol, it could be your Wi-Fi, and in the Wi-Fi there are different kinds of method to transmit and communicate with the device. It could be an HTTP and MQTT, TCP/IP, UDP, right? And there is also other mediums like Bluetooth, or BLE or Zigbee, LoRa, different kinds of communication protocols right now. And to handle those data or those command or storage, there should be a medium of cloud, or to represent those kind of data there should be a application, right, visualization of the shared data. So each row is one communication step, and each step may use different protocol. Then what is communication protocol in that case? So a communication protocol is set of rules that help two or more devices talk properly. It tells device how to send data, how to receive data, and how to understand the message correctly, right? So the best example for the communication protocol is about like the traditional language. It could be like let's say there I want to talk with you, right? So right now let's say we are communicating in English, right? So first of all, why we are able to communicating in English? Because we know the standard rules of English language, right? Because we have learned, right? We know that what is the meaning of each word, right? And the meaning of the interpretation that we have learned in our local language, right? So because first of all we have follows that the standard rules for English language, and that's why we are able to communicate in English, we are able to understand that English. So in the same way, in the communication protocol, in either in embedded system or in IoT, the communication protocol has their own structure, their own format, right, which decide that how to send data. That means there is a procedure of we can't the device can't share directly that in data in random format. It has to follow one architecture, it has to follow one format to transmit the data, right? Let's say in UART there would be first of all start bit, and then parity check, and then data, then stop bit, right, then checksum, lots of things there already in a proper format, right? So that if a transmitter is following that set of rules, then receiver also has to follow the same rules to receive that data and to understand that data, right? If it is not follow any kind of architecture, right, if it is not following any kind of set of rules or format for communication, then most probably it would not understand any kind of data, right, or it will receive the garbage data, right, because that device do not have any proper format for the communication, right? So simple idea, if two people speak the same language, they understand each other. If the two devices are using same protocol, they can communicate, right? So let's say last time we have done with the sorry, ESP32 and STM32. So in that case, both devices was following the same UART communication protocol, right? And I think we have done with the I2C also, that we are transmitting some data from our ESP32 and our OLED, right, understanding that data. Why? Because OLED has inbuilt I2C driver, which is understanding the format of incoming data from the ESP32 on the same protocol. So we can't do like we are sharing data from the UART, and our LCD can receive the data from the UART, but it has only I2C protocol, right? We can't transmit the data in that format. For that, the condition is both device must follow the same communication protocol first of all, right? So protocols are important because different device needs to communicate common method to exchange information. Without protocol, one sensor may send data in one way and the controller may not understand it. Sending data correctly, reducing communication errors, connecting many devices together, making system more reliable. These are the requirement to communicate with application or different devices. So we can also take one better example to understand smart water tank, right? So let's say there is a water level sensor in your water tank, which is measuring continuously the level of the water, right? So ESP32 read the sensor value using I2C or UART. Okay, so let's say we have one sensor which is following the I2C communication protocol, right? So if that sensor is sending some data over the ESP32, then ESP32 have to receive that data only on same protocol, which is I2C, right? Now, if ESP32 want to send the data over some kind of application over wireless, let's say, because you know that that most probably the water tank, let's say now if you talk about our normal household, so most probably the water tank always we put on our rooftop, right? And if you want to monitor from our ground floor, then we have to transmit the data. So we have two options: either we can transmit data through the wires, or we can use any wireless communication protocol. So if we are using, let's say, wireless communication protocol, let's say Wi-Fi, right? So ESP32 will work on the same Wi-Fi network, and our device, the both devices, let's say if we want to monitor the water level through our mobile application, so our mobile application and ESP32 both should be have to communicate over the Wi-Fi only. That means same protocol, okay? And there should be different medium like cloud, and the proper format as a communication channel is a MQTT or HTTP. Okay, so user take the label on phone via dashboard. Okay, so this is the procedure of simple use case of how communication protocol work, right? And the common communication protocol in IoT, right? Okay, so now we have got that what is the communication protocol, but let's understand the common communication protocol in IoT, right? So first of all, if we talk about the wired communication protocols, there are different kinds of wired communication protocol. Maybe UART, right? We have just got communication over the ESP32 and STM32. There is simple serial wire communication between two devices. Second is I2C, wired communication. They connected sensors module with few wires, right? Second one is SPI. It is a little bit it use more wires than SPI and I2C, right? But it is known for the faster communication. We known SPI for the communication over for LCD module, for SD card reading, right? For those kind of things which require fast communication. And if we talk about the wireless communication protocol, it is like Wi-Fi, connect device to the internet and local network, right? Then Bluetooth, short distance wireless communication, right? Bluetooth also had different variant, classic Bluetooth and BLE. What is the full form of BLE?
Bluetooth low energy.
Bluetooth low energy. Okay. So why it is known for low energy? Because it requires low power than classic Bluetooth. Okay, and it is different more feature than classic Bluetooth. Okay. The next is MQTT. It is a protocol over the Wi-Fi to share the data with a standard format like HTTP, right? HTTP is also a communication protocol, but it is used especially for application purpose. Then Modbus is also known as RS485. It is used for the industrial purpose, where we talk about the different actuators through the PLC and industrial devices. Second is the wired and wireless communication protocols, right? So wired communication protocols, it connected physically, right? In that case we have to give connection through the wires. Next is the wireless protocol. That means in that we do not need any wire, we can directly communicate over the wireless protocols. The wired communication examples are UART, I2C, SPI, Modbus, and for the wireless there is Wi-Fi, Bluetooth and LoRa, right? This is an important question for interview purpose. And stability. In the wired connection, there is a more stable, less interference because it's directly connected to the wired, right? But in wireless communication, it provides us more flexibility, and that we can interfere. We can interface with different kinds of application. Then distance. So the distance for wired communication, there is a limitation to communicate or to transmit or receive the data, right? Because every wire has its own resistance also, right? So data may be lost as much as we are increasing when we will increase the distance of the wire. Then next is can cover larger distance, right? So wireless communication protocol can cover larger distance because it has a larger infrastructure. Is a wireless communication, right? Like GSM or Wi-Fi. and it is wired communication is based for industrial and high reliability applications, and this is wireless communication for mobile operations, right, and long distance communication. And class what is, yeah, okay, this is the, I think, assignment for you. So identify the communication step in this smart room system: temperature sensor, ESP32 controller, and mobile app. Okay, so I think we have different kinds of already electronic components. So I think our LCD OLED work on I2C communication protocol. Then our ESP32 can support Wi-Fi and Bluetooth and BLE, right? And we can build different kinds of application for it. Okay, so I hope that definition and the concept of wireless communication protocol or IoT got clear. Done? Any doubt till now?